Okay. All right, let's make a formal introduction for our listener. Good afternoon, guys. My name is Claudio. I'm calling you from Washington, D.C., from the studios in Fairfax City, America. I'm grateful that Deb-De-Pan accepted our invitation to our show. Grace and Chelsea, welcome to the show, man.
Hello.
The last, usually I start all my interviews with this question. The last 2 years have been very crazy for everybody with the COVID, whether you believe in the vaccine or not. Billions of people have died, and how the COVID affected your sanity, your life. You couldn't tour if you were a touring musician. How you guys holding up?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really hard time for everybody, I think. A very peculiar time, and the world changed a little bit, didn't it? But actually, for us, I think it gave us individually actually some freedom to create a bit more because we couldn't work. So we're both at home individually and writing music. So actually, in a sort of backwards way, it was quite useful.
Yeah,
obviously awful, but yeah.
And then you guys had or have right now other job. You do something a day job. We'll call it here in the United States, and
Yeah, we both work.
I've literally just finished work about half an hour ago. So.
Oh wow, yeah. Wow, stuff. Yeah. So it's a beautiful thing. Many bands unfortunately disappear, right? So of course all the big name like the Pink Floyd guy, the Led Zeppelin guys, and Genesis, of course, have a lot of money, so they don't care what's I suppose is the word COVID or that, but many smaller band or upcoming band like yourself is hard. You need to go back to school, get another job, and forget about music or postpone your career for a while. But eventually, if you like the stuff, a lot, then you will go back and do your thing that you like it. So I'm glad that you guys were okay. Any of you were born in like a musical family? I mean, how old were you when you perhaps began taking piano lesson or guitar lesson, or maybe your older brother had a lot of vinyl at home, or your dad was playing music or nothing like that, or?
Neither of us.
No, we both don't have any musical training at all.
No musical backgrounds. Just us. One day we decided to do it, and that was it.
What kind of music were you listening when you were like a equivalent of high school here?
Yeah.
What bands were you?
I guess when we were in school, we listened to a lot of The Cure, bands like that. Really, just we got into it probably when I started playing guitar when I was 11.
Yeah.
We had a friend at school that sang, so we'd sort of just jam out in lunchtime and stuff like that. That was where it started.
Yeah, good for you. How will you guys know each other? Were classmates in school, college, or how do you know?
A long time. We went to secondary school together, which is probably high school over there. But yeah, we've known each other a very long time.
Yeah, and why the two of you decided, well, now is the time, it's COVID or whatever, we need to put the stuff together? What was the motivation behind it?
Before it's too late.
Before it's too late. Yeah, so
we've always loved playing music, going to gigs, and just playing music together, really. So we thought if we're gonna take it seriously, we've got to do it now rather than ever. So
where are you located? You're in Kent, yeah.
Maidstone.
Yeah, I never. I go to London very often actually to see shows and interview people. So, but it's never been there. Man, in your country, it's a culture of great music. So many musicians, so many bands, so many pubs, so many local theaters, small theater, big theaters, and London is crazy though. It's another world altogether, man. Plus, it's very expensive.
Yeah, that's very true.
I don't know how people manage there unless they come from rich families. You guys recently released your first ever single, Darkest Hours. It was difficult to put it together. I mean, from the production, and we'll talk about the lyrics a little bit, but from the production, getting help from somebody doing the video, how difficult was the process of putting it together?
I mean, yeah, you did the video, didn't you?
Yeah, I did all the video. Yeah, it took a long time, but I thought we had a process, and we followed that process, and it was all just development, and it kind of turned out all right in the end. We had like no budget to work with, so hence why I ended up filming it as well as being in it and then putting it out as well. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun filming, and it was a great experience. Yeah.
Who did the artwork for the album, the track? You did? Wow.
Again.
It's pretty cool though.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And you have been playing some gigs. I noticed that you play in Ivy House, Half Moon, The Flower Pot, Spice of Life recently. Yeah. How did it go with this stuff?
Yeah, great. I mean, we're just trying to get out and play as much as we possibly can, really. It's what we love doing. So yeah, we've just been doing lots of emailing and trying to organize some gigs and stuff like that. But yeah, they're going really well. Yeah.
And then you were doing, so besides the stuff that you guys wrote, you were covering somebody else's songs and covers and.
No, we're literally just doing our own stuff live at the moment. So we've
your own stuff, yeah. It so happened that's the first track that had been released, or at least for that particular album, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was. I mean, we literally started playing shows in March. So we're just learning as we're going, really, and trying to get out and play. And we met the guys from Wantsum, which is the label that we put our last song out on.
Yeah.
And they were a really big help, actually, in helping us understand the process of releasing music and what we had to do and what we had to organize. So that was a really big learning curve. And we're still learning now. What next?
Yeah. It was difficult to learn the process. I mean, it's complicated, right?
There's a lot to learn. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you can have like a great track, the two of you, and okay, what do we do next? What do we do then? You know, how we, and so what's the plan for the near future? Are you calling different venues and trying to organize more gigs and where you are, or all over London?
Yeah, we're trying to get out of Kent and venture out a bit more, play some more shows, grow our audience a bit, and hopefully put another song out soon.
Yeah. Are you guys working a new song, or?
Yeah, we've got some things in the works.
Yeah. And then eventually you would like to, I don't know, if you have, 4 tracks, where those are going to be uploaded to, I suppose, Spotify, and then try to have enough materials to a CD, right? Or.
Yeah, I think so. That's the plan. Just release as much as we can and see where it goes. Yeah, see where it goes.
And then how difficult is to, I mean, how long does it take for an idea from a song to doing the first draft, rehearsing, singing, mastering, and put it out there? It's a month, 2 months, or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long process. I think we did the last single in a bit of an unconventional way. We wrote it quite quickly. It took us a long time to be able to play it. There's a time signature change and a couple of tempo changes, so that sort of thing just took us a while to get our heads around. But we actually spent a long time thinking about the production of the song before we went into the studio.
Yeah.
So yeah, the mixing, mastering process was actually quicker than the writing and thinking through the production process, really.
Yeah, we didn't have long. We recorded the whole thing in a day.
Yeah.
And then mixed it in another day. So it was 2 days of recording and mixing, and then it got sent off for mastering. So it was pretty, that side of it was pretty quick.
Especially as we didn't have a clue really, even what mixing and mastering was before we did the song. So yeah.
And then you guys have enough money saved to pay for the stuff, or somebody else help you with? I mean, I imagine that it isn't cheap, it's expensive, right?
No, we were really lucky with Wantsum, because it's basically a label running off of a charity called Pie Factory.
Yep.
So it's a youth music charity to give young people an opportunity to really get started in music. So they helped us out a lot with the process of putting the song out and the mixing and the mastering too, which was just amazing. We were so lucky to have that.
That's amazing. Yeah, I was reading about the organization. That's great. They're doing that kind of stuff. I mean, there are a lot of crazy people in the world, but a lot of good people at the same time.
Yeah.
It's I Putin want to destroy the world, but there's a lot of good people that out there that they like music, and so I imagine that you guys are writing new songs, and eventually we'll put an album together, a CD together, and are more gigs coming soon, or you?
Yeah, we've got a gig tonight actually.
Really? Where again?
It's in Kent. It's Ashford. We're supporting a great band called Snapped Ankles.
I don't know.
Yeah, we should check them out. They're pretty good. We're actually, but I think it's a church we're performing in tonight, so we've had to sign loads of things saying we, won't be inappropriate or anything. But yeah, so we're really looking forward to that one. And then we've got a couple more things in London coming up as well. Is it Paper Dress Vintage
in Hackney?
In Hackney. Yeah, we've been busy.
That's pretty good. And how usually the gig that you have tonight and the two in London that you just mentioned, how many people will attend those events? I mean, you're going like a support band. I suppose some people may go to see the big names, quote unquote, and then see you guys. Yeah. And, how many people will attend those? 100 people, 200 people, or?
It always depends on the venue. I mean, we've had some pretty busy gigs recently, which has been nice. But then I think when we first started off, there was 2-3 people in the room, and you kind of way up. You never really know how many people are going to be there, but it's we've been quite lucky recently, so hopefully it continues.
Yeah,
I think it's hard, like when people don't know your music, especially before we put the single out. Like it's you don't get many people that go and see bands they don't really know or they've never heard of. So
yeah,
it's great getting the opportunity to support slightly bigger bands now with a following already.
And what do your parents think about this stuff?
Yeah, they're very supportive.
They are,
yeah.
Yeah, or I mean, because eventually when you were finishing high school, you needed to make a decision, right? Either music or go to university, go to college and forget about the music, or get a job. And some parents would say, no, forget about the music. You're never going to make any money. That's a crazy life. Just go to school, man, and get married, whatever.
Yeah.
For a family or something, or whatever people do. But
yeah, I think maybe both of our parents know that we were never going to go down that route.
Yeah. Well, good for you, man. I'm close. Let's talk a little bit about the lyrics. I don't know. Obviously, they're open for interpretation, but in my opinion, they are kind of personal. It's the two of you wrote it, or who wrote the lyric, or was a combination?
I wrote the words. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is whether it's true what happened or not is completely irrelevant. But the question is it I'm who I am to criticize, but is it difficult or to open up about with personal lyrics or stuff like that, or you don't care, or in some way, let's say you broke up with somebody, right, and a boyfriend or whatever, girlfriend, and you want to get it out of the system, so to speak, and you write about it, and it could be a good song, right? Whether it's you're making that up or not, it's still kind of personal. What's your take on this?
I think it is incredibly hard to open up about that sort of stuff. I think when I'm writing, a lot of the time, I don't actually realize how I feel until after I've written something. And then I'll suddenly have a revelation and realize, wow, I'm actually not feeling so great about that situation. But there's also something, I don't know, really, really quite nice and opens you up after you get it out, because there's sort of emotions that you suppress and you don't actually think about and you don't work through, and actually writing it down and sharing it with other people, as scary as that is quite nice to get through it, actually. Yeah,
I'm quite sure after the gig, people come to you and they may say, hey, something similar happened to me or whatever, right? Or I'm glad that you wrote about the stuff because I had or have had a similar situation, right?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I hope so. We've never actually had that, but
yeah.
I
Oh,
think
you will.
they're quite deep and dark. So, I mean, everybody's got that side to them. I think they just maybe suppress it.
Yeah. And so I'm glad that you know your guys are working and putting together. That you didn't give up in your life. I have interviewed, I don't know, like 300 musicians already, and it's difficult to be a musician. You know, it's not glamorous for many people. I you know, I'm very lucky because where I live here close to Washington D.C., I live in the border with two states, with Virginia and Maryland. Every band come this way, and I mean literally every band come this way. The big name, the smaller name, and the people are coming, musicians. So I'm able to see a lot of bands here. I see a lot of, I don't know, close to, I don't know, 40 shows, if not more, a year. So I'm very lucky. And now, as I began interviewing people, I realized how difficult it is, because I go to a gig at 7 p.m., you know, I drink a beer or two, I talk to musicians after work, I come home, I go to work at the next morning. But it never occurred to me how the equipment got there now. You know, some smaller band, they don't have any help. They need to do everything them together, or will be selling CDs at the end that themselves. And at the end of the gig is 10, 11. They need to, you know, put the stuff back in the truck, sleep in a hotel, and go to the next city. Is make a little bit of money, and it's a lot of work, man. Right?
Yeah, we're finding that out. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be so many different things. You know, you have to be your admin, you have to, you know, carry your gear in, you have to, you know, do all these things, and your day starts about 4 o'clock for sound check, and then you don't leave until 1 a.m. and you know it's a long day, as well as working a day job as well. It can get a bit much, but yeah. It's all good fun anyway.
But you gotta follow your dreams. You know, if you really like the stuff, you will do well. So what's the goal in a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now? What would you like to happen with your life and musically? So
I think to just be able to live off our music,
right.
and just continue to write, and yeah, get to gig a lot, and maybe do a tour and all those exciting things. I think, yeah, we've definitely got quite big goals when it comes to music, and we definitely want to follow them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I suppose tour all over the UK, and then go to Ireland and go to neighbor countries, right? And then take it from there. And but it's great. And then maybe one day play here in the United States.
yeah,
That'd be
we
amazing.
would love to. Yeah, that'd be really great.
It's very expensive. A lot of people told me that it's very expensive. You need to get like a work visa, and which United States make it harder for people to come here, I suppose. And you need to have, you know, prove that you have enough money, say, to pay for the expenses, and it's a complicated process. You know, it's as I say before, I go to a gig, I don't care how the stuff happens, it just is in front of me, but behind the scene it's a lot of work. What kind of music were you? What was Joni Mitchell, to give a name, was important in your life? I mean, what people were you guys admiring growing up musically?
So many different bands and artists, really, but I think maybe the driving forces are probably Warpaint, Marika Hackman, lots of different musicians, but those are big ones.
And quite a few like small bands as well. I think small bands, we took a lot from them. We went to gigs like pretty much every week, just go and watch at a local venue, and we kind of took a lot away from watching smaller bands, because it kind of seems more achievable and more doable, and it's more kind of inspiring because they're still having to work these jobs. And yeah, you get to see a more of a realness to it, rather than going to see these like massive bands and it's all this polished thing. And it's, you know, it's really nice to see and support local musicians and stuff. So yeah, definitely a lot of inspiration from those.
Yeah. So you're doing a gig tonight, and then tomorrow you need to go back to work, or no? You have the day off, you're gonna sleep in tomorrow?
No, back to work tomorrow.
Man. So what time you will get home? Like at 11, 12?
we'll probably get home about 1 by the time.
1 tonight.
Yeah, I have
and
to leave
then-
for work at 8 a.m., which is great.
A lot of coffee. Well, you guys
Yeah,
in the UK, you drink tea. I drink coffee, but
need to start drinking coffee. That's for sure.
oh, you need to start. Yeah, it's well, I'm glad that you guys are doing well, and I wish you luck with everything that's coming up, and don't give up. Continue working. Stay safe. Don't do stupid stuff. You know, you're young, and so, you know, you need to believe in yourself and start sending. Are you sending your work to radio stations and in the UK or in other countries as well, or
Everywhere we can.
where you can? Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of potential. I think having a lot of potential to really make it is another story altogether. But you know, you need to start making a step toward the right direction, I suppose. Don't get in trouble and don't do stupid stuff like I did. and then continue. It's a hard work, but if you really like it, you gotta do it. I mean, for me, when I opened the radio and I began creating this YouTube channel that is kind of popular and some interviews and seen by, I don't know, 10,000 people, 15,000, make me very happy because I had no choice. I needed to do stuff. It was like therapy for me. You know, I mentioned many times in other interviews, I don't play an instrument. I don't know how to read music, but I've been listening to music 3-4 hours a day from the last 50 years. And I couldn't live without music, and music has given me a lot of satisfaction. So, and it's great that people are out there, you know, being a musician, or being a different type of artist, I suppose, and trying to make it. So don't give up, keep working hard, and I wish you all good luck. And then maybe one day somebody else will be opening for you guys, you know, and I will fly to London and I will say in 5 years from now, man, I remember these 2 girls. Look at where they are now. I cannot even get a ticket now, man. They wouldn't even say hello after the gigs. No.
We'll always save a ticket, don't worry.
It's always the same thing. And some bands, and of course, a sort of income, you know, put a CD out there, or a picture, or take picture with the, you know, with the people that attend the gigs, or create like a T-shirt or some souvenirs. And there's good income to be back there that could supplement you to going from one gig to another or whatever, because at the beginning it's hard. You don't make enough money, you know. And but keep on working hard, don't give up, and I will hope to see you very soon then.
Thank you.
It was very nice talking to you. Appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank you.
See.
thank you.